and I want our Pro-PC to note it very seriously. So it is time to incorporate other skill trainings as part of the curriculum of NEP 2020. Not as subject specifics, as the syllabus proposed for ACC courses are mostly theoretical and less experiential. And in this regard, sir, we have compiled a collaborative thoughts from all the stakeholders, and we have a representation to be submitted to our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Nagaland University. And since we have no time, I request our General Secretary to come forward and give the representation. And this representation seeks to fix the anomalies that we think that Nagaland University will help for carrying out the curriculum effectively in all the colleges. The implementation of NEP 2020 in higher education institutes of Nagaland has thrown many new challenges. And therefore, to translate the objective of NEP 2020, infrastructural developments of classroom and faculty resources need to be augmented and integrate student-teacher ratio in the classrooms. Therefore, NEP 2020 is a visionary policy for the 21st century, and its implementation largely depends on the active cooperation of all the stakeholders to create workable institutional mechanisms. Its effective implementation is critical if India wants to reap the dividends and capitalize the opportunities from a rapidly growing economy. There is a long road ahead of NEP, given its scale and the kind of complexity involved in its execution, particularly in securing coordination and cooperation amongst diverse policymakers and all stakeholders, and in turn to ensure that industry and society benefit from this visionary policy. ANGCTA stands by our commitment. The effective implementation of NEP 2020 should be a success story by not producing defective citizens, but by producing skilled graduates who will become an asset for our state and country. Let us, together with all the stakeholders under higher education, generate sustainable employment opportunities for our youth and produce trained professionals under research and innovation of NEP 2020.
State. You can count on her, definitely. I see by your knowing smiles that you already know the kind of caliber that she possesses. Under her leadership, we anticipate impactful change for ANGCTA in particular and higher education in general. Thank you very much again, and might I add that the accessories that you've presented are making all our guests look more resplendent. Now coming to the next item, we will have the speech by our guest of honor, but before he comes up here, just a short profile that I've prepared. Professor G.P. Thong is a distinguished academic and geologist. He has made significant contributions to the fields of geotechnical investigations and disaster management, particularly in the state of Nagaland. His extensive portfolio of completed research projects, consultancy work, geological reports, and technical expertise reflects his dedication to understanding and mitigating geohazards in the region. Professor Thong has also played a crucial role in educational and academic spheres by participating in various seminars, workshops, etc. as a resource person, and also as a resource person for disaster management and environmental issues, which are very crucial to our state and society. As a chairman and member of several advisory committees and editorial boards, he has demonstrated his commitment to advancing geology and related fields. His multifaceted contributions in research, education, and disaster management have had a profound impact on the scientific community of the state of Nagaland.
The ANGCTA executives deserve to be congratulated for spearheading the reinvention of higher education, of the higher education system in Bangladesh. However, we are very unfortunate that the Honorable Governor, Sri Ganesan, is not here because of health issues. I was personally looking forward to his presence today. We're hearing from him out of his past experience. Even Mr. Imnalon, the Minister for Higher Education and Tourism, is unfortunately not well. In our prayers, let's remember him. It is indeed a very rare privilege for me to be attending the first Triennial Conference, national seminar of the ANGCTA, because I was very intimately associated with ANGCTA nearly 40 years back. It brings back memories of our old and early struggles. So please pardon my indulgence, my brief indulgence into our distant past. Late Dr. B.B. Kumar of the chemistry department and late Dr. New Wiso of the English department of the Kohima Science College were our president and our general secretary, respectively. They and their peers, I had the good fortune of having them as my teachers, the original pioneers. These people laid the foundation on which ANGCTA stands today. It was in January or February, I've got to keep on making adjustments. Yeah, should be okay. It was in January or February 1989 that we, ANGCTA, decided enough is enough. Because we did not have service rooms, we did not have a senior waiting list. There was frustration all over. So began our peaceful, we called it that, a chop down strike. The government tried to coax us back into the classrooms, but we did not relent. Thus, about 32 or 35 teachers, as those who were in the forefront, ended up as guests of the jail colony of Kohima. But we noticed something very strange in their dormitory. They were all in one huge dormitory. The dormitory was spick and span. We were later informed that the jail authorities cleaned and sanitized the whole premises because of the VIP guests. There were new towels, new mattresses, new pillowcases. I mean, everything was new, including buckets and cups, buckets and mugs. This was to the envy of the regular inmates. A couple of days later, the rest of us who were not arrested also marched up to the DC's office. I was there, I remember it, demanding to be arrested. For some of us, it was to enjoy the VIP facilities that our seniors were having that. However, unluckily for us, the jail had no more space. What with the long-term inmates occupying the rest of the place? So we had to come back. But why I bring this up is the struggles of those seniors, mostly my teachers, who spent a few nights in jail, had a huge impact on the political scenario then, which forced government to accede to the demands of ANGCTA. The then Minister for Higher and Technical Education, late Mrs. Shikha Hosema, was a godsend for us. He went all out and managed to convince the cabinet to give us our first service rooms and our first seniority list. That was probably in 1994, somewhere around 94. Now today, as we come to the NEP 2020, as we embrace the NEP 2020, it is thanks to ANGCTA that the conclave Higher Education and Transition is being organized to take us forward. Our higher education journey in Nagaland began with the founding of the Fazlali College at Mohotru in 1959 with 43 students and 3 teachers. Today we have more than 600 teachers and 17 government colleges. This 64-year journey has immensely contributed to the growth of Nagaland. The Kohima Science College, now an autonomous college, is rated amongst the best autonomous colleges of the Northeast. In fact, when I was a student of the Kohima Science College, way back from 1977 to 1981, the Science College was reputed to have had the best laboratories and the best teachers in the Northeast. But with this, it shows the immense potential the state has for higher education in Nagaland, which can even take us to greater heights. Despite numerous problems plaguing Nagaland, the government colleges have progressed well and produced many towering personalities in our state in very diverse fields. Now, when we look at the larger picture, since independence, since India attained its independence, there was a strong focus on primary education. So higher education was miserably neglected, and this was neglected for a very, very long time. The myopic policies then caused drastic cuts in public expenditure towards higher education. Many recent reforms in higher education mark a transition from welfare statism to a neoliberal market philosophy. This was largely due to indicators pointing to the immense contribution of higher education to economic development and reduction of poverty and inequalities. The government realized that only strengthening higher education can build a knowledge-based society and achieve